How does the Mossad gain access to get the intelligence needed? How do they get into the room? How do they get out of the room? And how do they maintain communication and knowledge of what's happening in there? And this all summarizes or boils down to one word that's called a mole. Clearly, there was a mole or multiple moles within Iranian intelligence organizations, which is what allowed Israel to gain that level of access and that level of information. And since this has happened, it's very hard to underestimate how much panic and how much fear this put in the heart of the Iranian government. They go on this witch hunt looking for moles, etc. But just imagine in your head the level of distrust and the level of fear that it gives people to see such a thing happen. And I think that's a logical thing. I mean, after the attack of October 7th, that Iran is absolutely behind to a certain degree. Hamas executed, but it was part of their greater plan. And after decades of fighting against Israel, it makes sense that this is the kind of response that they would get. And I think on a psychological level, this seems like an incredibly successful operation. It seems that an operation of this magnitude couldn't have been carried out without significant help from inside Iran and the Iranian government. This kind of thing requires a network of operational capabilities. And apparently something involved many people betraying their country, by the way, knowingly or unknowingly. Because if you've tracked the MO of the Mossad over the years, they've been very, very clever about doing these kind of things without people knowing they're helping Israel. And when you think about Supreme Leader Khamenei hearing that this happened under his watch, within his country, I mean, forget the fear. They did the usual thing of saying, let's attack Israel, let's retaliate Israel. But there's a huge embarrassment here where Israel is able to penetrate deep into the organization and they realize that whatever missiles, whatever forces they have, we're still able to work within their cities themselves. And this kind of operation is exactly what tells us the incredible story of the Israeli Mossad. How time and time again, and the stories are countless, we're going to go into many of them in the future, time and time again, the Mossad is able to reach the enemies of Israel at the farthest corners of the earth and do so quietly and without leaving tracks behind. In fact, unless our Minister of Defense at the end of last year would have publicly admitted that we were behind this, it wouldn't have been known till this time that Israel was officially behind this attack.